And greetings, everybody. Glad you stopped by from our studios at Emerald Park PCB Resort Living. Beach Bums Media is proud to present In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley. He's just plain Rob from the Stark Naked Truth, and I'm just Ashley. You can follow us on Twitter at Beach Bums Media, Instagram, Beach Bums Media, or search us for In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley on Facebook, all major podcast platforms such as Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Stitcher, Google Play, and now on Amazon. So you can actually go, hey Alexa, play In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley.
And it comes up.
How many Alexa units just went off?
Yeah. See? Proved it to you, didn't we?
Or you can just Google us. Rob's email is robs@pcbums@gmail.com. And you can always reach me here at beachbumsmedia@gmail.com. Our studio line is 850-588-9275. It's always available 24/7. Any interesting stories, comments, questions, just don't forget to leave us your name and number. We would like the opportunity to call you back and ask you any questions if we need to.
And we just may put you on while we're actually recording our video. So you could be a star or
That's right.
something like that. I was going to say something, and it was actually very clever, and now I've forgotten it.
Well, if you remember it later on,
Yeah,
we'll come back around to it.
Squirrel!
I ran across a couple of things. Actually, I'm going to do this first. I got a letter in the mail last week addressed to me. It's from Smart Cremation.
Oh.
Dear Ashley, you're cordially invited to attend our free seminar and a meal
Ooh, I'd be dubious about that meal.
to pre-plan your cremation. It's being hosted by a local barbecue joint.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be dubious about that meal.
I'm not going to name it,
No.
but it's here on the Panama City Beach. It just struck me as odd. A company is soliciting me, wants to talk about my future plans and after death of cremation, and they're having their dinner, free dinner, at a barbecue joint.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't mention it, because that's actually a really good barbecue joint.
It is a real good place, but I'm not going. Thank you for the invite. I will not be there.
Only in Laura, Alabama. L.A.
I just thought it was strange that happened, that I got that.
I love people. I mean, you've got to have a great sense of humor to do
You
something
do.
like that.
I actually almost threw this away, and I thought, wait a minute.
A seminar.
Yeah, and I think I need to. Limited seating, RSVP. Wow. Anyway, this is the first week after the 4th of July. And typically, ran across this, the week after 4th of July is Nude Recreation Week.
Oh, that's
International
right.
National Day.
Yes.
The day offers a way to shed the stress while exploring your naturalism. In other words, naked. Or is it naked?
It's what I was taught when I first moved down to Alabama, to Birmingham, was if you're naked, you have no clothes on.
Is that ED?
No, N-A-K-E-D.
ED.
If you're naked,
ID.
N-E-K-K by God I-D,
Uh-huh.
you have no clothes on and you're up to something.
That's it.
So, yeah, this is National Naked Week.
Yeah. It says, don't let the hot summer days weigh you down with itchy clothing and bothersome zippers. You don't need the baggage fee, so lighten your load. Pack lighter and head to the nudist resort near you and celebrate Nude Recreation Week.
Volleyball.
It does say, enjoy being free from the restrictions of buttons and fabric. However, remember to keep an eye out for pest and poison ivy.
Yeah, that could be bad. And if you're eating or slicing jalapeno peppers or habaneros, either wear latex gloves or wash your hands before you engage in any type of.
Even going to the bathroom.
Yes, that's where I was going. I wasn't going
Yeah,
to the.
all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Okay. Especially the other, but going to the bathroom. Yeah, I was at a chili cook-off one time, and I made my 3 pepper chili, which had jalapenos, habaneros, and Scotch bonnets. And I wasn't wearing gloves, and I went to the restroom, and I wasn't thinking, and I came out back to the chili cook-off, and I looked at one of my friends, Bo, my buddy Bo, and I said, Bo, I need a beer. I don't want to drink it. I want to shove it down my pants.
Front or rear?
Front.
Okay.
Yeah, front.
I had to ask. I almost didn't. I almost wasn't going to.
Though it was the Challenger disaster afterwards, the next morning.
Ouch. Well, anything else going on this week? I really don't have too much. I was going to get some more of the calendar, the week of the day things.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I went to go get a fresh batch this morning, and my printer wouldn't sync up to my network, and I couldn't print anything else.
Yeah, I mean, this day in history, you're still pretty much talking about the Founding Fathers. Actually, the Declaration of Independence was only signed by 2 people on the 4th of July. The rest were signed, the remainders of the fathers signed on August 2nd. So that's kind of an interesting thing of note, but we consider it Independence Day on July 4th because that was when it was first signed by anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
Ratified.
I did learn, well, I kind of knew this but forgot, and it was interesting. The first person to actually sign it was
John
Hancock.
John Hancock.
So everybody goes, hey, put John Hancock on this piece of paper.
And he signed the largest signature so that King George would see his name and know that
it was him.
Yeah, that it was him.
So
that's
the
how
oldest,
John.
and the oldest was Ben Franklin.
Yeah, Ben Franklin was in his 70s by that point. So
Yeah.
I mean, he was a very prolific individual in many respects. But
Yeah.
he was not even, well, at first he was a bit reluctant. I don't know if you've ever seen the series on Fox Nation, but it's about the Founding Fathers. And they did like 2 or 3 episodes, not specifically on Benjamin Franklin, they kind of intertwine all of the Founding Fathers chronologically as to what was going on at that time.
Right.
And Franklin was an emissary, an ambassador for the colonies to England, and really liked that British lifestyle of hanging with nobilities and hanging with the echelon. And then when things started going awry, he really had a choice. Do I really want to do this and live this lifestyle, or am I going to go back and stand with my fellow colonists? And he decided that he did believe in independence for the colonies more than he believed in living that lifestyle. Plus, he was kind of falling out of favor anyway, because he was let's just say, party animal, dirty old man kind of type back then. He's the one I would have hung with. I'd like to have known Ben Franklin.
He sported a mullet from time to time.
Yeah. You know that famous painting of him with that little wry smile on his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I did that night.
Hey, Martha. Well, nothing new in my front. Just pretty much same old. Just
kind of a
living the day.
Kind of a different week. Just ups and downs. You know, I've looked back on some of our older episodes from a couple years ago, and how many times did we have those? You know, it's not a bad week, but just a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah,
And basically, that's just life. But doing well at the new job, and there's a lot of pressure there, especially now that I'm coming off of training pay and going on to straight commission. So,
Oh, yeah.
Gratuitous
That's
plug.
pressure.
Gratuitous plug, if you are looking for an RV or a motor coach, come see me at Camping World of Panama City on West 23rd Street. Because as of next week, I'm on straight commission, and I need to sell some campers. So anyway, aside from that, we ended up, this was actually before last week, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, we ended up with 7 kittens, and we are not moved into our apartment yet.
7.
7. Wow. Because my lovely fiance, Cindy, who is sitting behind me, and I don't care that she knows this because I've actually told her this many times, has a big heart when it comes to animals, and so do I. But we had one kitten that we had kept from a litter of 11, and he was my boy, so I called him Blue. You're my boy, Blue. And then
7 cats.
she went over to her dad's house where the daddy cat, Takota, is, and saw another kitten that she thought that somebody had returned, basically. So she brought that kitten back, and the funny thing was, I walk in and there's Blue in his little kennel. So I walk into the bathroom and I look down and I see another little cat that has pretty much the same coloration as Blue. And I went, I hadn't been drinking yet. What's going on? And I looked down, I'm like, what? I could swear I saw Blue in the
How'd you get in here that quick?
Yeah. And so I walk out and I went, and I see this other cat, and I see Blue, and I went, what's going on? Well, she brought this other kitten home. So he's become Rerun.
Rerun.
He looks kind of
Poor
like,
guy.
yeah.
Coming back around.
So then I'm sitting at work, and I get a phone call, and she's on the line, on the other end, and says, I met this girl, and she's disabled, and her cat just had kittens, and she's being threatened with eviction if she doesn't do something with the kittens. So I'm bringing them home to foster them for 2 weeks. And I went, how many? 5.
Holy
I
moly.
said, so now we're going to have 7 kittens.
Wow.
What am I going to say?
That's a lot of kitty kibble.
Yeah, and kitty litter.
Wow.
And so now we have 7, and when I say kittens, I mean itty bitty kittens. Now Blue was an itty bitty kitty. Now he's
growing.
Growing, yeah. He's only, 4 months old now? About 4 months, but he's getting big.
Well, Dee's been hinting around a little bit. Skipper passed,
Yeah.
and we still have Buddy and Lucy,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Lucy's a little love girl. She's a little love
And
bug.
Buddy still marches his beat.
Yeah.
He's on patrol.
Yeah, Buddy is. He is. You should see him march that.
He walks his beat, and I keep reminding Dee that we're fine with Buddy and Lucy.
Yeah.
So anybody mentions the word, we have a kitten for adoption.
We have 5.
No, you don't. Not in my house. Not in my house.
And they're sweethearts, and the whole thing is, and we got one that we call Little Chunky Monkey.
They could be the biggest sweethearts, most loving ever. No.
Yeah, keep them home. We got this one, we call him Chunk, and he's a special child. He's got like dwarfism or
I thought
something.
you were the special child.
Oh, I am special. But Little Chunk, he's just a little ball, and we call him Chunk because he's a chubby little guy, and he's got short little legs. You can tell that he's, there's some kind of
Email Rob at robspcbums@gmail.com if you want a kitten.
with a Z. It's bums with a Z. And then we got this one though that is just absolutely pure white, not a speck
Really?
on her.
Wow.
We call her Princess. And
Why not Snowy?
oh, it was kind of like Snow White.
Snow
and I didn't want
White.
to call her,
Oh,
and we
okay.
didn't want to call her Snow White. That's all cliche. So we call her Princess.
Princess.
And she does kind of strut around like she's a little mean. And
I think all cats do that anyway, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much, but she's even more special. So anyway, here's the thing. I will give you parents' advice when you, especially parents, when you get into a situation like this, do not name the animals, be it a puppy or a kitten, because you become attached to them. And so now we have Chunk, Princess, Rambo, Rudy, Patch, Blue, and Rerun.
If you lived on a farm and had a mess of chickens, are you gonna name them?
My first wife would have, yes. She and her sisters.
So no fresh fried chicken at your house.
She had her, oh no, hey, I don't, hey, look. Hey, Clucker, come here. What you doing tonight? Oh, I know what you're doing. You're taking an oil bath. My first wife's dad was a farmer, and he would get a calf every year for that purpose. At the end of the year, fatten the calf, and the girls, when they were little, would always want to name the calf, and he would say, no. Any calf we ever get for this purpose has one name and one name only.
Food.
His name is Sirloin.
I like it.
So anyway, we've been dealing with 5 cats.
Oh,
We've been
wow.
dealing with kind of pressure at work, some other nefarious, or not nefarious, but extraneous things going on. 4th of July, we really didn't do much of anything.
We were gonna go to the Grand Lagoon fireworks at Captain Anderson's.
Yeah.
Dee got home, didn't go anywhere. We stood out in the driveway, saw them hit the tops of the trees. That was
Yeah, that was about it, yeah.
We're 7:30, 8 o'clock. We're done for the day anyway.
Well, on Saturday, there's a place called Papa Joe's on 23rd, or
Yep.
15th Street,
Yep.
sorry, right there on the bay.
across the bridge.
Yeah, right there on the bay. And I was coming home from work. She and I were coming back, and 15th Street was backed up both ways for blocks and blocks and blocks.
Oh, really? Were they firing them off?
Yeah, and
I was wondering
They
what
were
was
going into
going
Papa
on
Joe's.
because that was Saturday, right?
yeah, and I don't know if it was.
It was strange that because we saw some.
I don't know if it was St. Andrews Marina or if it was Papa Joe's doing it, but they sounded
I don't know.
very, very close. Because I would think if it was the marina, they wouldn't have been as loud as we.
There's always a lot of fantastic shows out here
Yeah.
in Panama City Beach. Well, all right then. And now, from around the globe, across the nation, from your state and possibly from your city or from right down your street, it's odd news of the week you may have missed and wanted to know about it.
Or not.
Or not. But anyway, here it is. Since we are coming off 4th of July, lighting off your own fireworks on the 4th of July is all fun and games until someone loses a finger.
Of course, yeah.
There's a big old story about all this stuff, and I just wanted to hit some highlights. It's almost always the small firework that causes more people to get injured with Roman candles or shooting bottle rocket at each other.
I've never done that.
no.
When I was a kid with my friends.
Colorful and fun sparklers can burn between 1,000 and 3,000 degrees, and the sparklers are responsible for 16% of legal firework-related injuries in the United States. The Hold My Beer is a recipe for the injury.
Yep. Hold my beer, I'll
yeah.
hold this firecracker.
The number one thing is intoxicated people are being stupid. The 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day are big DUI holidays, and most of the calls this one individual EMT responds to involves alcohol rather than fireworks. So, I think we've all been guilty of throwing those little fireworks at each other. We've all gotten minor burns from faulty fireworks, but I know the running joke is you all have 10 of your fingers on July the 3rd. You only come back with 9 on July the 4th.
Yep. High 4.
Yep. Now, having said that, one person has died from fireworks on the 4th up in Summerville, South Carolina.
Oh, tragic.
It is tragic. The Dorchester County coroner says Alan McGrew, 41, ignited a large firework and placed it on his head. The device exploded on top of his head, causing massive injuries.
No. Really?
He was pronounced dead at 11:10 p.m. On the scene, his wife told officers he started drinking at 6. She said while he was advised to stop, he was attempting to show off. The Darwin Award goes to.
Absolutely. I thought that boy had a good head on his shoulders.
Until he blew it off.
Not no more. I've been pretty drunk in my life, and I've done some stupid things, but I would not have taken a mortar and put it on my head and lit it and said, "Hey y'all, watch this."
You know those, in my mind I visualize, it's that big square multi-pack. You light it and 15 or 20 things shoot out of it. That's what I'm kind of thinking he put on his head. Now, is that a balancing act to keep that up there? Or are you hanging on to it? Do you have a flat? Never mind.
I can't, I'm flabbergasted that anybody would actually get drunk or not. What was he drinking?
It doesn't say, but I would assume probably the typical, well, I just don't know.
North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina, okay. Well, he had some squeezings of some sort, I'm sure, yeah.
Yep.
Junior Johnson was involved in this transaction.
Well, from across the pond, sun-seeking blokes have been warned to stay off beer this summer to stop their manhood from wilting in the heat. Cooling down by the pool with ice-cold lagers can result in dehydration and lead to fellas flopping in the bedroom, say medics. Karen Jones, a clinical pharmacist at Oxford Online Pharmacy, urged holiday makers to glug water than ales to avoid malfunctions between the sheets. I swear that's what it says. Millions of Brits are set to travel across Europe this summer, but with temperatures in some areas stretched to reach a scorching 40 Celsius, which is hot. I don't know the equation, but it's hot. Is just not vulnerable to people who should be careful. Hot weather conditions could pose risks such as dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat stroke to anybody not taking the proper care.
And now impotence.
And not making things, what did he say? Wilting.
I mean, I've been on this earth for 60 years, and I've seen heat waves, but I've never heard, and I've heard people, heard medical professionals say, make sure you stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I've not ever heard somebody say, don't drink beers because your willy's going to malfunction. And I would imagine, because I know British men, I've been stationed with them in the past and worked with them and met a lot when I was overseas. And I know most of these guys would say, "Do you leave my willy alone? That's just not cricket."
It also goes on to say, but did you know it can also affect your partner's ability to perform in the bedroom? When dehydrated, your body reacts by producing less red blood cells and plasma needed for proper blood flow. I'm sure there's a pill for that.
Well, yeah, there's one or two actually, and available online at a reduced price.
So, from across the pond, medical advice about drinking your ale.
I drink with a British guy. I'm gonna have to mention that to him.
There you go. Here, you want to take this home? You want to
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. So
Take-
it's
here.
like, hey, Brad,
Yeah, any truth to
when
this?
you're heading down to the beach, protect your pills, man.
From UPI comes a story about a Las Vegas man who works as a sideshow artist, broke a pair of eye-popping Guinness World Records using the strength of his eye sockets. Now, how strong do you think your eye sockets can be?
I really wouldn't know. I've never tried the strength of my eye sockets.
Oh, number one, I wouldn't know how to do that.
Yeah, me either.
Anyway, Andrew Stanton appeared on an Italian TV series, Lo Show di Record, in Milan and took on the records for the heaviest weight pulled by eye sockets and the heaviest weight lifted with both eye sockets while swallowing a sword.
This man has way too much time on his hands.
Exactly. The first title, Stanton attached large metal hooks to his eye sockets and then used them to pull a Cadillac and its driver, totaling 5,319.75 pounds across a TV stage show. So you got to put a hook
Right there.
Wow, that just makes my eyes water just thinking about it.
And I just wonder who first came up with this idea. Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna put some hooks in my eyes and drag a car.
Yeah, a Cadillac.
Yeah. You know, hold my beer. See, like I said, there's rednecks everywhere. There are rednecks everywhere. Hold my beer. I'm gonna pull this car with my eye sockets. Give me some hooks, and let's do this.
He became the first holder of the second title by swallowing his sword and using the hooks in his eye sockets to lift his 129.63 pound assistant.
What a career move. I don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a
I'm just
cop
going
when
to
I
lift things
grow
with
up.
my eye
I'm
sockets.
going to lift stuff with my eyes. Hey, honey, want to come with me?
Hey, does he have like 20/20 vision?
Peripheral vision's probably gone.
I
would
think
you
peripheral's
know?
gone. You're right.
Yeah. If you want to sneak up on him, you're good.
Yeah. Well, this is news. Before you go sending wedding announcements to or post pictures of your beautiful ceremony on social media, it's a good idea to make sure the ink is dry on your divorce papers from any previous marriages.
Good advice.
Everybody good?
Yeah, they were.
Unfortunately, a Houston man is learning that very important lesson the hard way. A woman who only wanted to be identified as Tammy told a Houston ABC affiliate that she learned of her husband Marcus's Shorten's was marrying another woman after seeing a post for a wedding registry on Facebook. Tammy says the post was especially shocking because she and Marcus are still married. Tammy, who is Shorten's third wife, says the two got married in 2012 but separated in 2019. Although she has brought up the idea of divorce to him more than once, he has refused, saying he didn't want his family to think of him as a failure.
So now we'll think of him as a bigamist. And are we sure that that is only his third wife?
Aha. Well, ABC in Houston found a marriage license for Shorten and his fourth bride, but were unable to find any documents of a divorce from Tammy. Although he is still a free man as of when the story came out, Shorten has been charged with bigamy, a third-degree felony according to Texas law. It comes with up to 10 years in prison.
Have you ever seen Dewey Cox?
No.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. John C. Reilly, and he gets double married.
Double married.
You can't get double married. You can't. Don't tell me that. I'm not like a criminal or nothing. Yes, you are, Dewey Cox. You can't get double married. And he raises his left hand and he says, "I swear I didn't." And he's got two wedding rings on his left hand. It is one of the funniest movies. But
I've only got one.
yeah, I don't have any anymore.
An elderly Walmart greeter. You know, God bless the Walmart greeters.
Yeah.
I did apply for a Walmart greeter job one time.
I'm
and I
ready.
didn't get the job. You want to know why?
You're too friendly?
Nope. Welcome to Walmart. Get your stuff and get out.
Yeah, yeah.
They just frown on that.
Don't ask for nothing. I ain't going to tell you.
Anyway, an elderly Walmart greeter suffered injuries to his face and head after being punched in the eye by a North Carolina man whose girlfriend was angry that she had been asked to show her receipt. Now, the local Walmart that I go to, it's right down the road. I'm in there all the time, so I know the greeters.
Yeah.
And if there's a bathroom break, and they have to go, and there's somebody that I don't know, if you have certain items in your basket, like beer or a big ticket item that can't be bagged, they're going to ask.
Right, yeah.
They're going to, and I gladly show it to them,
Hey,
even though they saw me come right out of the checkout line.
If I got a Diet Coke in my hand, I'm going to show it to them.
so,
Man, I didn't
I
just
mean,
take this out of the cooler and walk out with it.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
This poor girl. Anyway, Vincent Bagola, 68, told the cops that he was checking receipts yesterday at the entrance to the Walmart in High Point when he was confronted by a man who was upset that he had stopped his girlfriend earlier at the exit. The Walmart employee advised, "I was just doing my job, man." And that's when he allegedly began yelling at the boy, or when Tamisha started yelling at her boyfriend, "Take care of him," punched the elderly victim in his left eye, which caused him to fall to the ground and strike his head. The couple fled the store without offering aid to the victim, who had injuries to his face and head. Investigators who were familiar with Robs and Warden from the previous calls subsequently arrested at their High Point residence. They were both charged with misdemeanor assault, while Wayton was also cited for failure to appear in court with connection on a separate criminal matter. So he had a warrant for him. So they're both described as unemployed, and the 240-pound Wayton is identified as a cook for East Coast Wings and Grill. Show me the receipt, get knocked to the ground.
Well, yeah. So did they
Crazy.
prove that they actually purchased the items they were trying to leave with?
You know what?
I mean, they didn't charge for shoplifting.
Now they get charged for shoplifting. I think it was just over, "How dare you ask me for my receipt" type deal.
Yeah, okay.
Which is pretty stupid.
I'm sorry I ate it on the
Yeah,
while I was in line.
pretty stupid. And from Johnson City, Tennessee.
Johnson City, Tennessee.
A church in Tennessee held a raffle over the 4th of July weekend and gave away a AR-15.
Ooh, nice.
The River of Tri-Cities Church in Johnson City said the raffle was part of a holiday celebrations. Pastor Todd Holmes told the local news station the AR-15 was just one of many giveaways at the church, and he thought it was appropriate since it was in honor of Independence Day.
Oh yeah, Second Amendment.
Holmes said this,
Sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry. As soon as it came out of my mouth, that's what I'm like.
Holmes says this isn't the first time the church had held a gun raffle. The winner must also pass a background check before receiving the weapon.
Don't give it to those people who went to Walmart.
That's right, exactly. Members of the congregation are no strangers when it comes to firearms. A sign on the door of the church reads, "Warning, this is not a gun-free zone. We are armed. Any attempt to disrupt or harm will be dealt with in an overwhelmingly display of force." 30, 40 years ago, there was this big crime wave going on.
Yeah, I remember.
They would break into the church service after the collection was taken because they knew nobody in the church was armed, and then go up and rob everybody in the church and get the collection.
You get the offering. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But
Not in that church.
I also remember.
How dare ya.
Yeah, I also remember kind of a crime wave during the big debates about gun control and everything, and businesses were putting in their windows signs that said, "This is a gun-free zone."
Right.
And so they were getting robbed left and right to the point where the authorities said, "Do not put a sign that says this is a gun-free zone
Yep.
in your window because."
They actually, if you had a license to carry a concealed weapon legally own a gun, legally can carry it, they didn't want you to carry it in the store.
Right.
Which is Nah, not my, I'm sorry. If you own the gun legal, bought it legal, the state says you can carry it concealed legal, in a holster, in a concealment manner as prescribed by law, you should be able to walk in that store, make your purchase and leave, and if something were to go down, you're there to help protect life and property, including yours and the person standing next to you.
And of course, the opposition would say, well, this is private property, so this is not, I can
Yeah.
make my own rules. I understand that, but
I just think that, but don't go to that church, y'all, if you want to, help yourself to the collection plate, because you will be dealt with overwhelmingly.
yes, I like that word. It's a kind of a generalization, but it gets its point across.
I think he gets his point across. That's, I don't know what the membership is of that church. I might have to look that up and do a follow-up on this, just to see what the membership, the number, not who, but how many people go to that church average on a Sunday.
Friends, today we're going to be taking up an offering, and we just might have a funeral.
Well, I don't know if you have anything for today, but normally we would go into a short and sweet political news and equal opportunity offenders, which is brought to you by the Stark Naked Truth.
Today, nothing controversial.
Okay.
I met a gentleman who came into Camping World. He and his family looking for a camper. They want to take it to their grandson, Peyton. His name's Peyton Gay. Been in the newspaper, actually. He's been on the news.
I don't remember seeing anything about it, but I don't really watch it a lot.
He played for Mosley,
Oh, okay.
and he's now going to Texas A&M.
Okay.
And doing very well in the football program there. And so they came in, wanted to find a fifth wheel to take to College Station. And what they want to do is they've got a place where they can,
Oh, just set it up.
they'll set it up for the tailgating before the games, and then they have a guy that will tear it down, take it to a storage area there in College Station, and then when they are ready to come back for another game, he will actually take it to the parking lot, set it up again, so they don't, no more.
Yeah, there's a company here that does that.
Right.
You can call them and they'll retrieve it from the storage unit and go set it for you.
Right.
And then when you're done, you can just leave, and it's like a Airbnb for a camper world. Where
Yeah.
you own the camper and you just pay them a setup fee of
So
$75 or whatever.
So the reason they're doing this is that they've been going to College Station and renting rooms, and it has cost them about $23,000
Oh,
to do
absolutely.
this, and it's expensive. So they thought, okay, let's do this. So anyway, long story short, I met Mr. John Gay, and he is actually running for county commission in Washington County.
Which is north of
Just north of us, right.
North of us.
Chipley, Bonifay,
Yes.
that area. Very, very nice gentleman. Met his family, met Peyton, met his younger brother Hayden, met Miss Terry, his wife, Renee, and Christopher, their son and daughter-in-law, and just nice people. And he and I started talking politics. And he and I are of the same ilk, but we started talking Washington County politics, because I don't know much about Washington County. I know Bay County.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to put out a gratuitous plug. If you're in Washington County, Mr. John Gay running for county commission, and I would, if I was living in Washington County, I would endorse and vote for this man. He's a very, very good man, been in business for years and years, and as he put it, I will squeeze the poop out of the buffalo on a nickel. He didn't say that.
Well, good luck with your election campaign, sir.
Good luck, Mr. John Gay. I just wanted to give him a plug and say hey, and thank you for buying that camper. I hope you all enjoy it. And good luck to Peyton at Texas A&M.
And now, the stories you're about to hear are true, and the names have not been changed, and the persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It's now time for
Idiots in jail. That almost sounded like the dun dun dun.
Yep, almost. A 60-year-old woman has pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter in the deadly beating of her housemate with several household items, including a tape dispenser and a shower curtain rod.
Wow, anything she'd get her hands on.
Yeah. Mary Carbone, apparently not related to MacGyver, TV show,
Yeah.
pleaded guilty Monday, the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office said in a news release. She is originally charged with murder, but legitimate proof issues that came up in the investigation led to the charge being reduced to aggravated manslaughter. Police were called to a home on 6th Avenue in Manchester on the 24th of February, where they found the lifeless body of a 55-year-old Frank Stachel. An autopsy later determined that he did die by homicide. Investigators later found that multiple items at the house were used to commit the killing, including a wooden board, a heavy-duty tape dispenser, and a shower curtain rod. The injuries the victim suffered were also consistent with the impact from those items. Carbone was arrested and charged with the murder. The shower curtain rod, which the body had fingerprints on it, was hid in a garbage can in the backyard. There's all kinds of things wrong with that. Don't hide your stuff in the backyard.
Go off property.
It was later determined those fingerprints belonged to Carbone. While police were on scene, Carbone said she didn't know what happened to her housemate, stating that she discovered his body in the hallway when she was answering the door.
Okay.
Police records obtained said that numerous domestic violent incidences were reported at the home. The year before Mr. Stachel's death, Carbone will be sentenced. The state is recommending a 10-year sentence.
For aggravated manslaughter.
What got me was, I didn't know he was dead. I tripped over him going to the front door.
Yeah. The lights were off, officer, I swear. I thought it was the cat.
I thought I tripped over a rug. After a man handed a bank teller a note demanding cash, police swooped down on the Chase Bank branch in Florida and arrested the unarmed suspect. The amount allegedly sought, 1 cent.
What?
The unorthodox robbery, cops say, occurred Saturday in a lake, or Lady Lake, a town about 50 miles north of Orlando, according to an arrest report. Michael Fleming walked into the bank, filled out a withdrawal slip, and handed it to the teller. The defendant was told he could not be given the 1 penny. Police, after being denied a penny, Fleming, who does not have a Chase account, reportedly told the teller, "So, do you want me to say the other word?" The teller was in fear that the possible violence was imminent and notified law enforcement. When police responded to the 911, Fleming was still inside the bank. He was taken into custody and transported to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, where he agreed to be interviewed by investigators. Fleming said he initially went to Citizens First, which was closed, before driving to the nearby Chase branch. After confirming the bank employee's account of the episode, most of the time, the way the tellers are trained, if someone comes in to rob you, just give them the money. Fleming claimed that he was expecting the teller to give him the 1 penny, adding that he would then sit in the chair and wait for law enforcement.
He was trying to get arrested.
Apparently.
Okay.
Advised his goal was to be arrested.
Okay. If you're gonna be arrested for a bank robbery, make it big.
No.
Give me all the money, not just a penny.
Well, his plan worked to perfection.
Well, yeah, I guess it did.
Fleming being collared on a felony robbery count, he's locked up in lieu of $5,000 bond.
For a penny.
It's unclear why Fleming, who does not appear to have any criminal record, wanted to be busted, but until recently he was renting a mobile home in Summerfield, 10 miles away from the Chase branch. He was being evicted from the residence, failure to pay his $900 month-to-month rent.
Well, why didn't you ask for $900 instead of a penny?
The dude
At least
needed,
you could have paid your rent if you got away with
he
it.
just needed a new place to live.
Yeah,
Change of
some
address.
new digs.
Do you put in a change of address card?
Yeah.
County jail.
They don't let you do nothing. But you know, what would have happened? Because if I had been that teller and he handed me a note, and give me a penny, I went, here.
Yeah, I would have reached in my pocket.
Here, there you go, bud. I hope it helps you. No, that's not what.
No, I have to say the words.
What do we have? Do we have to haggle?
A Florida woman was arrested for domestic battery after she attacked her boyfriend because he declined to cuddle with her.
Well, you know.
Investigators say the cuddling kerfunkel, yep, began Saturday evening.
That almost looks like a dirty word.
Yeah, I know it. Gotta look at that one twice, folks. Began Saturday evening when Jillian argued with her beau regarding the victim's distant and defiant engage in physical intimacy. The dispute reignited Sunday morning in the couple's Seminole residence. Continually trying to cuddle with the victim. When the man rebuffed the cuddling, she escalated the dispute into physical confrontation.
All right, no cuddle. What do you want me
The
to
lady
do?
allegedly grabbed the victim's chest hair, scratched his face, bit him on the forehead, and broke his phone. After being read her rights, she reportedly admitted that she continued to touch the victim multiple times after being repeatedly told to stop. He's touching me again. She's touching me again. Touching me again.
What would have happened if she asked him to spoon her?
We were down in Gainesville. Aunt Sylvia, my wife's aunt, lives in Ocala, and we went down it's 45 minutes, so we went down in to see them. And when we're always there, we go to this nice restaurant. And Aunt Sylvia was driving, and one of Dee's brother who drove up from Cocoa, Dee and I were in the back seat. Uncle John and Aunt Sylvia in the front seat. We're just sitting there, and I thought, now's a good time. So the foot under the seat, you know how you used to kick it? Mm-hmm. Aunt Sylvia, stop it. I said, well, Dee's touching me, and Bobby smells funny. That got the round robin going.
Nice.
She's looking in the rearview mirror. Do I have to stop the car?
Yeah.
So here's, 55 plus kids in the back seat.
Yeah.
He's touching me.
I remember my poor parents, 4 boys in the back seat, and I remember coming home from, I don't know, Christmas or Thanksgiving. We lived in Bushnell, Illinois, which is about 90 miles, about an hour and a half from where I grew up, where I was born, actually.
Right.
And my dad's family, aunts and uncles, my aunts and uncles and cousins were all up there, so we'd go up there. And on the way back down from Moline, Illinois, back down to Bushnell, Illinois, we get near Galesburg, and Dad stops along the side of the road. And my brother Kenny went, I didn't do it! I promise, I swear, I didn't do it! It wasn't me! Dad went, apparently you're guilty of something. And I was just checking the tire because I thought it was going down.
Who's wrong? I swear. Miss Ogden was arrested for domestic battery, and she was released on her own recognizance, and the judge ordered her to have no contact with the victim.
Not even,
Don't touch me. Don't make me call your daddy.
That's another family story. Beep. I don't want to hear another peep out of you. Beep.
A North Carolina man was assaulted for burping.
Assault?
Yep.
For burping?
Yep.
That must have been a powerful burp.
Cops say that No Perez, 43, was waiting for an order he placed Wednesday at a meat market in High Point when he belched, according to a police incident report. The burp upset a male suspect who was inside the Hispanic meat market at the time. When Perez subsequently exited the business with a female companion, the suspect was outside with 3 other Hispanic males. The suspect punched Perez in the face and kicked him in the hand. The assault and the associates then got in the car and left the scene.
Over a burp.
Over a burp. Mr. Perez, a self-employed construction worker, lives in nearby Ashboro, suffered a contusion over his left eye, but declined a police officer and medical assistant. The suspect and suspects remain at large, and the matter categorized as a misdemeanor assault remains open. So if there's anybody that would like to add to the report or knows anything about it, please contact the High Point Police Department. Don't belch at the Mexican meat market.
Yeah, say you smell like eggs. What you doing? My wife right here. You smell like eggs. I hit you.
I'm almost scared to read this one.
Okay, I'm excited.
An Iowa man has pleaded guilty to pleasuring himself outside a convenience store, and guess what it's called? Come and go.
Okay. All right. I was close what I was thinking, but all right.
After completing the lewd activity, Mr. Kelly, 55, departed for his nearby Iowa City residence. He was arrested. He is not to go near Come and Go again.
I wonder why.
He claims he wasn't exposing himself, but instead was scratching his genitals outside the company.
Okay. I was just following directions. It told me one thing,
Yep.
and you're telling me another. Okay, come on.
And on that note, if you're still with us, tips are appreciated. If you would like to contact or talk to us about sponsorship, but you can send tips to Venmo, which is at Beach Bums Media. That's with a Z. And our Cash App is $Beach Bums Media. Be sure to Google us, In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley. And don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and if you can share any and everything you see, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or anything on the podcast platforms, feel free to share it. We don't have a problem with that whatsoever.
Not so. And like I said last week, and I will repeat this probably every week, this does cost money, and it is coming out of our pockets. It used to come out of, bless this man's heart, he kept it going for about a year out of his own pocket. But it does cost money to maintain the RSS feeds, the platforms that you enjoy this on, the phone line, all this other stuff. So anything you can do for us is appreciated. And again, sponsorships are available. I am not above wearing your hat, your business's hat, or drinking out of your coffee cup, or drinking a Beer Cave beverage out of your koozie. So product placement is available. We'll do endorsements, and we can actually do, I can produce ads, because I used to do that for a living.
There you go.
So anyway, we'd love to make you a part of the show. We'd love to have you.
And once again, our number is 850-588-9275, or you can always email beachbumsmedia@gmail.com. That's bums with a Z. We'll get somebody in touch with you.
And right now, one last mention that I would like to say, because I think it's actually very, very cool, and I'm going to make a lot of people mad when I say, hey Alexa, play In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley.
And the after the show party, which starts in about 1 minute, is sponsored by Shark Sports Bar, located on Southern Place in Parker, Florida. We want to thank y'all for stopping by and taking time to be with us today.
As always, thank you so much.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my legs.